Hello, everyone. It's me again. I figured I would let you into an autistic guy, i.e., me, having a reflection upon his life. Um, as you might have guessed, I came into the world pretty much normal. I had my issues, but everything was okay, and until midway through elementary school, I was put into the special ed class, and that was the start of a nightmare. I was bullied horrendously both by people inside and outside of the special ed class. They put a lot of bullies in the special ed class because they couldn't put them anywhere else. They decided, fuck them, throw them in the trash. And I was bullied by the outside for being in the quote unquote retard class. Um, but anyway, I quickly learned to despise school. And but when I started middle school, I began to fight back. Learning to fight back was a slow and gradual process, and it was one my parents fought against me severely, fought against with the utmost intensity. Making me a nonviolent person was the hill that they would both die on, and they made that clear very early on. But the thing was, is at least in elementary school, the thing was that as long as I was alone, I was okay, you know. But the problem is that by law, my parents had to send me back to school for more, you know, and that was just the reality. I had to go back for more, you know, and when along the time that happened, it didn't. I mean, I knew I wasn't like other people from as early as kindergarten. I hated myself, and I still do have a lot of problems going on with me now. And you see, I was in spec ed through middle school, through high school. I made a few friends in middle school, but there was just one problem in middle school. Probably I had the best time in school during middle school. The best time of, however, it was just I did encounter a new problem in middle school, and that was puberty. And with puberty comes this thing called the libido, the sex drive, the mojo. I wanted pussy all the time, but the problem was I didn't have the social skills to even get a girl remotely interested in me. And a long story short, I'll give you an example. On Valentine's Day, for during seventh grade, I sent out 3 Valentines uh, lollipops to three girls. And remember how in middle school you could send lollipops to other students with, like, a heart shaped lollipop on Valentine's Day. Well, it was not received well. It did not end well for me at all. Two of the girls ridiculed me. The other girl politely refused me, and the two other girls did it in a very public way and put me into that position to humiliate me. But it's you know I don't, and needless to say, the following year I learned my lesson. Guess how many Valentines I sent out eighth grade? None. High school was another hellish time for me. I just didn't want to be there. They didn't want me there, but they wouldn't let me leave, you know? I wanted to go to this other high school, but my parents were like, nope, 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 no, nine, no, you know? EA, that's Japanese for no. Nine is German. But anyway, they they forced me to go back there, and I just hated it, and it became an increasingly toxic environment. I did not benefit at all from going to high school, none whatsoever. If they had ended my schooling at eighth grade, that would have been best. I could have ended up like Audie Murphy because he had an eighth grade education. And but I really came through a lot of failings, and that the side that would fight back continued to emerge. Not as much as it would later on, but it definitely emerged. And I got into trouble. I got into fights, and my parents would come down very hard on me. I mean, there was this one case where even the teachers sided with me, and my parents still came down hard on me. They're like, "Why did you just walk away? You didn't have to fight when he slapped you. You know, you that was not an attack. You should have just turned around and walked away." And eventually, I landed in court, and my mom was like, "You can't hit back after this. You must not. You cannot live with a criminal record. You cannot hit back." And that kind of scared me for a while, but eventually, I thought to myself, "Why do I care if I go to jail? It can't be any harder than public school." And when I lost my fear of jail, I lost my fear of getting in trouble, you know? And as a result, I ended up in court several times, but I never went to jail. I'm still perplexed as to how that happened at 35 years old, how I've never spent a night in jail. I've been arrested a few times, but I've never spent a night in jail. I'm really amazed at this, you know? And it's just, you know, but it's like these days, if I walk away from something, I'll feel really guilty about that. And I and I've already been kicked out of high school, been kicked out of community college, been kicked out on the streets out of my residential housing for fighting, all for fighting. And if somebody asks me, was it worth it? My answer is hell yeah. Even becoming homeless. I saved up a bunch of money by not having to pay rent, you know? And I would gladly become homeless again just to beat somebody up. And now some of you would think that's dysfunctional, and maybe you're right. But my parents tried desperately to keep me off this track, but I looked at them and I say, I was simply more effort than I was worth. I do not feel that I was a good investment on their part because I was going to do what I wanted. And admittingly, that's on me. You know, autism or not, I chose this route and now I have to live with it. And I'm quite happy with it. Happy that I did. My brother went off to a prestigious university. It's in the top 10 public universities in the United States, and got his PhD. He was a much better investment in me than me as far as my parents were concerned. My little brother's the first family member to get a PhD, and I am the first family member in generations to not complete college, or university. Well, to not get a degree from a university. And that was because I simply chose not to. You could not pay me to set foot in a university or any type of school ever again. It's because my parents pressured me into going to a community college, and I said it's just going to end when I get into a fight. And my prediction turned out to be true. And another thing that I find problematic was like women. remember what I told you about the Valentine's Day event? It's like by the time I was in high school, I just wished that my sex drive had never come along. I hated it. I even considered like chemical castration and shit like that. And, or just physical castration, i.e., blowing my testicles off with some firecrackers. And, unlike a lot of incels, I didn't hate women. I, didn't want to hurt them. I just, because they'd really done nothing to me. It's not their fault I'm unappealing. And I'll admit, I'm not appealing. I don't know why a girl would really want to date me. And it's better that I'm not interested in them, you know? It didn't take me long to figure out that as a person with autism and quirks and all that crap, that my value on the sexual marketplace was zero. And, so I didn't know at the time, but this problem would solve itself. I got really into porn, and, it's just, that was for the better, you know? There are a lot of professionals who say that it's unhealthy, that I need to go out there and have real world encounters, but they obviously don't know the Valentine's Day story. And maybe they'd feel a little differently because I really don't want to go through that again. And maybe it's sensory issues, but I have had sex a few times, and it was just too much effort for too little reward. And it's just, my parents tried to help me, but I don't think I was worth it at all. There was actually a funny thing that happened recently. I was talking with this guy who has a child with autism, and he's like, he has children that are neurotypical, and he's like, as a person with autism, uh, your parents had to as a child with autism, your parents had to put a lot more work into you. It requires more effort to get you up to speed. And I'm like, and was I worth that extra work, time, money, and effort? And we said it like this. He said yes. I said no. And it was just a minor inconvenience when my parents tried to, quote unquote, help me. And one of the things they do, like in elementary school, was force me to socialize. Like I had to play games with people on game day. I didn't learn any social skills. It just led to more shit. And I grew to despise socialization even more. I I don't really, I guess I just don't really have any desire to integrate with those people. But I don't really wish neurotypicals any harm. As long as they don't try to hurt me, of course. If they try to hurt me, then it's game on, you know? But it's like it's just you know, maybe I am dysfunctional, maybe I have a lot of fucked up views, but it's just I'm just trying to keep myself going, you know? I have acquired a lot of knowledge about warfare, serial killers, mass murderers, genocide, and pretty much anything else that's creeps people out and makes people uncomfortable. Basically, with me, if it bleeds, it leads, you know? I was under the control of my parents for many years because I'm on disability, and they were my representative payees, and that gave them a lot of power. They wouldn't let me drive. They wouldn't let me, you know, do mixed martial arts or anything like that. And that really makes me angry because I could be a lot farther along than I am now. They basically, I think, wanted to keep me little forever to keep me safe and so they could keep the money coming in. And I guess I did turn out to be worth having, you know? But was it worth their efforts to try and socialize me? No. And it's just, I don't, and speaking of parenting, I do not want to have kids. I do not want to pass on my toxic genes, my contaminated genes whatsoever, because I don't want to create more autistic people. And also, I never really wanted a family in the first place. I do not like the idea of raising a child. It just seems like a lot of shit for a whole lot of nothing. I would not, enjoy raising a child. I wouldn't enjoy having to spend time with them, go to their little league games, or wipe their ass for them and shit like that. I don't want to deal with that. It's not worth it to me. And if I did have a kid, it would not turn out well. Not at all. Not for me and not for the kid. And I recognize that I would be probably what most people would consider to be a bad influence, And I absolutely should not be a father. And I know that. I recognize that, and I own it. And it's better for all involved that I not become a parent. That being said, as far as porn goes, it's like no STDs, no kids, no waking up and seeing porn standing over me with a baseball bat. None of the drama. And that being said, it's like my parents made numerous efforts to try to help me, and they were not successful. Maybe it was because the services weren't that helpful, or because I just simply didn't take advantage of them. But either way, I take ownership for what my life is now. But anyway, I have kept trucking. I've survived homelessness. I've survived public school. I've survived a lot of really fucked up shit. And I am just, perplexed at my journey. My story is still being written. It doesn't stop being written until I'm dead. And my life of 35 years thus far has been hectic at times. It's been wonderful, and I've discovered a lot. Probably learned a lot more than most could in a few lifetimes. I am really, really trying to move forward and keep my life going. That's why I keep making these videos. And you see, my YouTube channel has been going for about 6 years, going on 7, and I didn't really figure out how to get a lot of views until this year. I started making videos of little animals and shit that I see on the streets and in the pet stores, and random things like weather events, and people loved them. Some of these videos get most of these videos get hundreds of views. Some of them even get thousands. And I'm getting a steady stream of subscribers coming in now. And so I guess you'll always figure out a way to make yourself work. And I'm up to over 1,000 subscribers now. And I'm really happy about that. But I do things like, pace and talk to myself and talk about inappropriate things, and people think I'm high on meth a lot of the time. I've never tried meth. I have, however, had a problem with alcohol, and I am 116 days, well, 216 days clean. I keep wanting to say 100 and whatever, but it's 216 days clean from alcohol. And although although I was a few months sober before I went to AA, I have heard several people say what I think are some pretty crazy things. Like they say, I would rather, like, this got me sober, and I would rather be, in a wheelchair than addicted. I didn't hear that at an AA meeting I attended, but I heard about a person that said that after they got hit, after they got hurt when they got drunk, and they got sober because of it. And it's like you know I don't think like that. You see, getting sober did take some work, and I wondered for a while if it was worth all the work I was doing. But being sober, I am more productive. I've achieved a few things since then. I'm more productive. I'm going to my jiu-jitsu class more. I'm driving now, and you know, I'm doing better in life, and I'm really happy about that. I'm also writing a book. I finished one book and I'm writing another. I just need to get some things done before I publish it. It'll probably be online, and when I publish it, there will be a big announcement. But anyway, this is just one autistic guy. It's a reflection on his life. And I have often found that I don't get along well with other autistic people. I don't get along well with neurotypicals either, but often a lot less with autistic people. But the good news is that I now have a mentor who has autism. I've had him for a good while, and I'm very blessed for that. The bad news is that, my life is, I'm trying to keep my life together, and that's not always easy. Anyway, because, as somebody else said, as neurotypicals have to learn to live with me, I have to learn to live with them. And as a result, it's I am on disability, so I don't have to have a job, but I do try to do things to make myself constructive. I try to work on my book. I give people rides in my car. I try to keep myself together. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Be good, y'all.